Okay. Today is October 30th, 2023. I'm Natalie Mann, interviewing Oren Zvada for the USC Shoah Foundation. We're in Kibbutz En Gedi, and the interview will be in English.
נסתכל עלייך או על המצלמה? אוקיי.
So first of all, Oren, thank you very much for interviewing with us. Anything you want to tell us, we're happy to hear. If you want to stop at any point, feel free. And now we'll begin the interview. So, Oren, could you introduce yourself, please?
So, I'm Oren. I'm married to Dana. I have two children. Be'eri is 5 years old, and Tamari is 8-year-old, a boy and a girl. And we live on Kibbutz Cholit. I've been living there for the last 22 years, and I've built my family in Kibbutz Cholit. And Kibbutz Cholit is very, very special. That's why I choose to live there. There is a small community in Kibbutz Cholit. It was always small, even smaller than it is today. And throughout the years, we struggled trying to enlarge the members of our community. And one interesting story I want to tell about Cholit, and I think it represents the people that lives there, is that Cholit was first established at 78 at the Sinai area in Egypt. And as it was establishment over there, the government of Israel, throughout the peace process with Egypt, decided to evacuate the Gaza Strip, the Sinai area. And one amazing thing about the community of Cholit was that all the other communities over there, we weren't the only community there, so all the other communities were having a fight against the government. And the community of Cholit decided that peace is much more important than the place itself. And they went to the government and told to the government, we will evacuate willingly, but we want to do it ourselves. We want to tear apart our home that we established there, and we will rebuild it in the place that you ask us to. So I think this is a motive that escorts us throughout life in Cholit. This is something that characterizes the community of Cholit. Peace-seeking community. That's what we are. Peace-seeking people. Yeah.
And what do you do? What is your job?
I'm a landscaper. I am a landscaper architect. That's what I do. I used to be the gardener of Cholit for many years. And I'm the manager of the botanical garden Greenpoint at Kibbutz Nir Oz. My wife is a social worker, and yeah, that's what we did on Cholit throughout the years. We've built no, thank you. We have private businesses, so we're working for ourselves, so, yeah.
You're self-employed?
Yeah, we're self-employed, yeah.
Okay. So, can you take us...
שהביא אותך לפה בתור מעצב גיל.
כן.
כן, מקום מדהים. כן.
So, could you take us back to October 7th and tell us your story?
I actually want to take you a day before. At the evening of Friday, we had a holiday in Israel. And both of our families, my wife's family and my family, were at the kibbutz. We were approximately 30 people sitting and having dinner together and having the Shabbat dinner and the holiday dinner. And some of them were supposed to sleep at our home, but eventually it didn't work out, so they left, except for my mother-in-law. She stayed to sleep at our home. And we went to sleep very, very late. My mother-in-law slept in the bed with my wife, and I went to sleep on the couch. And we have a huge window at the living room. And at 6:25, something like that, my daughter came to me, Tamari. She woke up, so she went to the living room, and she came to sit on the couch where I was sleeping. Just a few minutes afterwards, the alarm set, and as we know, we ran to the safe room inside the house. My wife and my mother-in-law also went there, and my small child, Be'eri, was already there. And in his room, yeah, it's his room. The thing is that this room, I think for the last few years, we have a metal window at the safe room. It is always closed. We never let the kids sleep in this room when the window is not closed, fully closed. That's how we sleep there. That's how they sleep there, because something inside of us know that the dripping of missiles throughout the year is so dangerous, because sometimes the alarm doesn't set and the missiles missiles and rockets just fall around. Kibbutz Cholit is located 1.5 kilometers from the border with Gaza, approximately. Yeah. So we went inside the bomb shelter, and as we are used to do, we get inside, we close the door, and we wait for a few minutes so the alarm will stop setting. We will hear the boom of the missile, of the rocket falling on the ground, and then we wait a few minutes, and then we can go out. But at that particular moment, the alarm didn't stop. It was alarm after alarm after alarm after alarm. It was a huge, a huge amount of missiles going toward us. The children were afraid, and I was holding the door so it won't get open by itself, because we don't have locks on these doors, so we need to hold the handle. And it didn't stop. After it stopped, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Gunshots were so close to our bomb shelter, was so close that we actually heard them, and we thought to ourselves, okay, something huge is happening, but we don't know what, because messages from the kibbutz or from the security person hasn't arrived yet. And we hear the gunshots, and I understand that they are standing next to our house. So I was trying to call our security guy or somebody else from the security team, and nobody answered. I wanted to tell them, listen, I hear gunshots next to our home, so we have people getting inside. We have terrorists inside the kibbutz. You need to come to our area and, maybe try to illuminate them. And as we were trying to do that, we were starting to hear people screaming in Arabic. And then the glass at our window glass was broken. And then we hear the gunshots inside our home. And they were shooting all over. For a few minutes, we were in shock. We were totally in shock. The only thing I could do, because I don't have a weapon, is to hold the handle of my door. And that's it. And the door is not bulletproof. So I was holding the door, putting the children under the bed, closing the light, closing everything in the room, and everybody's quiet. I'm telling my wife, I'm talking to her with my eyes, and I'm telling her, put the children under the bed and be quiet, everybody quiet. And as I saying that, we are feeling that the house is being, like a bomb fell on it. We are feeling it shaking. And at that point, the neighbor sent a message on the WhatsApp that somebody threw a grenade inside her home. And I was thinking, this couldn't be. We have closed homes. yeah, next to us. And we thought to ourselves, she's new at Cholit. They live in Cholit only in the past few months, so maybe she don't understand the situation. It can't be that somebody would throw a grenade inside your home, or the shootings and everything. Maybe it's, we thought, the worst case, we thought it's 4 people that got inside, 4 terrorists got inside, and the army will be there in a few minutes and we will all be okay. And then we get more messages from people on other places on the kibbutz that people are shooting next to their home, people are shooting inside their home, people are throwing grenades, the alarms are continuing all the time, and we're feeling a huge chaos going around us. After they were in our home, they left our home and went and continued to other houses. Then we started to hear that they are burning houses in our neighborhood. 3 houses from us, they started to burn the houses over there. Throughout the time we were at the safe room, my wife took my phone and she was with the phone, my phone and her phone, because she didn't want me to see all the messages. I needed to be very sharp, and I needed to be very focused on the door and holding the door. So she took and she did everything with the messages, and after the situation I read these messages and it was horrible. My neighbor said, very quickly she said, "I'm choking, I'm gonna die, I'm in my bomb shelter, please somebody help me." And you hear the gunshots outside, and you understand that you can't go outside, because once you get outside, you will get killed. And a young group of people were there, very brave ones, with no weapons. Their houses were also getting burned. They went outside of their house, went to her house, through shooting, broke the window, managed to pull her out. And the whole thing took a few minutes, but it was crazy. And then they went to another house to hide at the bomb shelter over there. Throughout the time, it was all the time shooting. The shooting stops and starts, stops and starts. We have a few minutes break, and then it continues. And a few minutes breaks, and then it continues. At one point, I thought to myself, maybe we should run to the car and run away from here. And my smart wife told me, no, we're not going out. I thought that maybe I will go out and try to see what's going on, and I just couldn't. I knew I had my mother-in-law, my 2 small children inside the bomb shelter. They can't run as fast as we can just hold them and run. Everything will delay us and we won't be able to get to the car. And also we don't know what they did to the car, if the car will start or no. We didn't want to get stuck outside. So I remember all the time at the bomb shelter, at the safe room, I was trying to fast forward life to see if we're gonna get outside of this situation, if we will be able to see the daylight. So for 12 hours, we were at the bomb shelter with no weapons, no food, no water, nothing. My children were amazing. They were under the bed, quiet, not making a sound, and it was amazing that they play along with the situation. Me and my wife thought that we must keep it cool so the thing won't burn in their minds about the trauma that we're going through. And the thing is that we didn't actually understand what was going on. There was a huge chaos. We didn't know that we have dozens of terrorists, approximately 40 or 50 terrorists inside the kibbutz, shooting everywhere. They had RPG, they had weapons, they had grenades, anything to do a huge massacre. And around noon, I heard them getting inside again. And that was the time that I thought that that's it. They are inside and they are coming towards the safe room. So I told my wife, get the kids under the bed, be prepared. Once I tell you, you open the window and you jump outside with the kids and my mother-in-law. And if they kill you outside, they kill you outside. And I will try to open the door on them and close the door behind me and try to have a fight with them to give you some time to run away to some place. And as they were coming towards the room, they were shooting. They shot inside the house again and again and again. And I don't know what happened, but eventually they went outside again. And they didn't came to the safe room. We were saved by a miracle. It was unbelievable. Then we hear on the WhatsApp groups of the kibbutz that few people are dead already, and we know that they are dead, that more houses have been burned. And then came the message, I think it was a horrible message to send, that the army is on his way. And I was thinking to myself, we are here for 6 hours now. What do you mean that the army is on the way? We thought that he's there, that the army is fighting for us now. To understand that throughout this time we are all alone, it was horrible. And the army came only after 10 hours. After 10 hours, we started to hear a soldier got inside the house and he said, Tzahal, Tzahal, and he wanted us to open the door. We didn't allow him to open the door because we didn't know if it's him or a terrorist trying to get inside our safe room. So he went inside and then he went back outside, and we didn't hear from the army for a few more, I think, few more minutes, 10 minutes, 20, I don't know. And then they went, then I heard voices in Hebrew talking from our front porch. So I told my wife, listen, I hear Hebrew talking. I'm sure it's the army. And she told me, no, don't go outside. We had an argument if I should go outside and check it up or stay inside the safe room. So I told her eventually that I'm 100% sure that I hear Hebrew, and I think it's the IDF. So I went outside, and I went outside of the safe room, and then I went through the corridor and looked through the window. I have a small window there, and I saw that it's the army. But the thing is, I thought to myself suddenly, how am I going to tell them that, so they won't shoot me when I'm calling them? So I don't even remember what I said. And I said something, and then I opened the front door of my house, and they were shocked to see me coming to them. Then I asked them if they need anything. So they asked, apparently they were starting the fight they were already in a fight, and they were hungry, they needed water. So I pulled them some things from the fridge, and then I saw that my house is totally broken. And I gave them what I could, went back to the bomb shelter, to the safe room with my wife. And at that point, we took a bag. We have a closet of my children is inside the safe room. So we took a bag and we put some clothes inside, because we thought to ourselves, if the army will manage, let us out of here, we want to have some clothes with us. And we took a tiny bag with some clothes. And then they brought another person from the kibbutz to be with us at the safe room. They brought him from some other place on the kibbutz, and they brought him to be with us. So he sat with us for a few more hours. I think it was around 2 hours before the evacuation started. The evacuation was also, it was crazy to be at the evacuation, because an officer came into our house. He brought my neighbor that almost got burned in her bomb shelter, and he said, you wanna evacuate? So I said, yes, of course. And I thought that they are gonna take us with a bulletproof car or something like that. And he said, bring your car keys and bring everyone and go to your car. And I went I took the kids, we ran to the car, we took with us the other member of the kibbutz and the member that almost got burned, and we went inside the car. The car was all with, the glass was shattered, and everybody got inside, you know, at the back, and we put the children on the ground, on the glasses, because we didn't want them to see, and we want them to be as safe as we can, because we understood that there are still terrorists on the kibbutz, they are still shooting outside and inside the kibbutz. They were waiting in the we have plantations outside of the kibbutz, so they were waiting there and they were shooting all over the road. We have one road to go. So I was driving like crazy outside with shattered glass all over us, and they told us where to go. We went to another kibbutz that is 20 minutes drive away from us. And the thing is that on the road to the other kibbutz, we see bodies on the road. We see cars burned, totally burned. We even saw a tank of the army going on the flames. And it was crazy to see. You don't believe that you're in Israel. You think you're in Hollywood in the middle of a movie or something like that. It was unbelievable to see. This part of the land was being conquered by a terror organization, which is crazy. When we got to the evacuation point and people from our kibbutz started to come, we couldn't believe the stories. Everybody burst in tears. We couldn't believe, we started to understand who died, who got injured. And it was crazy. It was unbelievable. We still don't believe it. We still don't understand the thing that happened there. It's just crazy. Our community now is trying to maintain strong, but it's not easy. We have 14 orphanage kids in the kibbutz. 14 orphans we have in the kibbutz. We have 16 people that got murdered, including 2 Thai workers and a worker from Moldova that died. They killed a Holocaust survivor who was 92-year-old. They tried to kidnap kids. And it was a...
What was his name?
Of who?
Tell me later.
I'll tell you later. Sorry. Sorry. Moshe Riedler, sorry.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of
Yeah. I want to say some stuff about this war. The people that got murdered were peace-seeking people. We are a peace-seeking community, and most of the communities along the border with Gaza are peace-seeking communities. We used to have friends from Gaza. We used to work with them on our plantations, on our cow sheds, inside the kibbutz. We used to have relationships with them. After every operation, after everything, something like that, we used to call each other and ask what's going on and if everybody's safe and okay. And I want to say that the Palestinians lost this war twice because they lost people that tried to do the best for them. I will take, for example, Dr. Chaim Katzman, which have been murdered protecting another girl on the kibbutz. And he was on a group of people that take people from the border with Gaza with health issues to hospitals inside Israel. He used to do it twice, 3 times a week. And voluntarily, obviously. He used to wait with them over there and used to take them back. These are the kind of people that we have. And so they lost twice. They lost the people that were trying to think on their benefits. that were trying to find a solution, that was trying to say, let's have peace and not war. That's once. And the second thing is that Hamas knew that they are not going to conquer Israel on that day. They knew that the retaliation of Israel will be double and triple than what they did. So they put death on the Palestinians on that day. So we lost peace, and we lost more Palestinians also. This is bad for both sides. And I'm afraid about what's going to happen through this war. A few days after this day, we had people invading our homes and stealing stuff from our homes when we are not there. And the thing is, at that day, the terrorists came first, but after them came the Palestinians to rob our homes. But a few days after, they found more of them stealing and robbing our homes, which is crazy also. We're not allowed to get to our home in Cholit. Some of the bodies, it took us time to bury all of our deads, because on some of the bodies they put grenades and they put bombs on them. And they put bombs inside the houses that once you open the door or once you try to lift something above the body, a grenade will be blown. And I went to Cholit yesterday. I went up to Cholit yesterday for the first time. We tried to, after the army cleared some of the houses, and I went there. And the damages that they did to our means of production, to our infrastructure, to our homes. The damages, the psychological damage that this community has to go through now is huge. And most of us are trying to think that we will go back to Cholit. We will go and establish Cholit again. But we need more answers before we will be able to do it. We have a lot of questions to ask before we will do it.
Do you have any pictures? You went back now. Did you take some pictures or anything?
I was overwhelmed, so I didn't take pictures. And actually the people told me, do you have pictures and everything? So I didn't take pictures. I tried to deal with the mess that we have in our infrastructure. So I tried to fix some pipes and stuff like that. And I went inside my home and I saw my home. It was unbelievable. You know, we tried, when we got outside, it was important to me and my wife, when we were evacuated, it was important to me and my wife that the children won't see the mess that we have inside the house. So we tried to cover their eyes, but we couldn't. And they saw it, and they were totally shocked by it. After a few, they started to talk, and they started to say, but what will happen to our home? How are we going to fix it? How are we going to do it? Why did they do it? And two amazing things happened with my children. My children are very connected to Cholit. So when I went, what?
How old are they again?
8-year-old, Tamari, which is the girl, and Be'eri is 6 years old. We just celebrated on last Saturday, we celebrated 6-year-old. And two amazing things with these children. Because yesterday my daughter told me, she understood that I'm going to Cholit. So she said, Dad, can you bring us in a jar, bring us some sand of Cholit, please, and some leaves from some trees? I want to feel it, I want to touch it, I miss Cholit. And on the other hand, my son says, every time we talk about Cholit, we talk very carefully. We try not to say too many things, but he says, I don't want to talk about Cholit. Don't talk to me about Cholit. And then he started to burst in tears, because it's his home, and it's painful for him that we had to go through this. And my daughter asked my wife yesterday, his father is going to get shot? Is he going to come safe? Is everything will be okay when he will be there? And when I was there, I had to be escorted with a soldier with me. Soldiers were coming with me and protecting me while I'm going, trying to fix the things on the kibbutz. It was very hard to see that. They shoot the cows. Every day now, we have 2 or 3 cows dying in the cow sheds because of the trauma, because they are not getting the treatment that they need. We are trying to milk them with some volunteers because we need to take the milk from them, otherwise they're suffering. And we pull the milk to the sewer. And this is our livelihood. And they went to the chicken pens, they released the chicken, and they put a grenade on the gate that when someone will try to open the gate to put them back, he will be blown. So they thought about almost everything. They knew that they are gonna do a mass destruction to people that were seeking peace in their lives. And as I was saying, I believe that peace could have happened if this terror organization wouldn't have been established, if world leaders, also Israel leaders, would have wanted. We would have been able to do so much with the money that pooled on Israel and on Gaza throughout this time. Israel is a crazy country, building in billions of dollars, bomb shelters for buildings, for houses along the border with Gaza, building the huge fence that it built, building psychological center so people like us could have resilience throughout the time, throughout these 20 years that rockets are being sent at our kibbutzim, at our moshavim, at our homes. It built everything in order to make us live up for it. But it didn't build the peace. And also on the other side, and also world leaders that could have done something. The Jewish people are people that are seeking peace throughout all of his history, thousands of years. We have songs about it. We are being grown on that knowledge of peace. And it's very sad that this is what it had to come to. Thousands of lives being dead, missing, tortured by both sides. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. It's very important to us to tell the story of Cholit, of our small, beautiful community that was thriving before that. And the voice of, I think, we need to talk about peace. Thank you.